Good evening, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the July segment of She Healthy Woman, where we are discussing and having candid conversation around minority health. Tonight, I am Chandrell Green, and I have with me the wonderful Phyllis Booz, our very own She Healthy Woman director, as well as the owner and founder of Capacity Wellness. Thank you, Phyllis, for taking time to join me tonight and to have this candid conversation as we are talking about something that affects just about everyone in some shape, fashion, or form. Thank you, Phyllis, for joining us tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure once again to be here. I am Phyllis
I
Booth.
believe you're on mute, Phyllis.
Uh-oh. Liz, can you hear me? Interesting.
There you go. I'm on mute. Still,
All right. We're good now. We can hear.
yes.
All right. Well, yes, Chandra, thank you again. I am excited. She Healthy Woman is just an amazing platform, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. As Chandra says, I am actually a board member of She, as well as the Director of Health, CEO of Capacity Wellness. We're building your capacity to be well. Capacity
Yes.
Capacity Wellness, basically, we build our clients' capacity for wellness by providing quality health and wellness education. We provide CPR, first aid, mental health first aid, QPR, which is suicide prevention, well-being coaching, and also movement through our Revelation Wellness arm. And so tonight we are going to dive into something, like Chandrell says, that just hits all of us in one way or another. Pain. Pain.
Pain.
I think we all can understand pain. So, living with pain, and our segment tonight is called Living with Pain, a Journey Not Shattered. Okay.
Mm.
Proverbs 13:12 states that hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. So, just think about when your body experiences pain, even when you experience emotional pain, something
Mm.
gets deferred, right?
Yeah.
There's something deferred. You're either in the bed, in the hospital, or just not feeling your best. And that can defer our plans. But see, the vision that we have of life, the vision that we imagine, or even what others have imagined for us, can often be delayed and deferred. It could look different than we hope. So, our journey in life can be influenced and it can be impacted by one common thread: pain.
Mm.
I don't think we're going to get out of this earth, Chandrell, without
Yeah.
somebody feeling pain,
That's
right?
right. In some shape.
In some
Some.
shape or form.
That's right.
Exactly. So no matter who you are, no matter how much you have, no matter how much you don't have, pain can impact this journey that we all call life. Pain
Hmm.
can be the reason that we fight harder, or it can be the reason we stop trying. Pain
Yes.
can actually fuel our resilience, or it can weaken us at the core.
Mm.
Pain, though, is very subjective. Okay. Its
Yes.
ability to alter who we are physically and psychologically is deeper than even our eyes can see.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to look at the history of pain. Okay. And look how pain has been captured through, we're talking about Black history. The
Yeah.
Black National Anthem, if you go through and read the words to the Black National Anthem by James Weldon Johnson, it's a story of pain, it's a
It
story of
is.
strength, it's a story of faith and freedom that's hoped for. Okay? Couple of words out of it. Like we know how it all starts, right? Everyone can say, lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Go down a little bit, it says, sing a song full of faith that the
Mhm.
dark past has taught us.
Mm.
So right there, what does that mean? What does that indicate? What does that imply? There's
Some
been a
pain.
there's been
Some
pain. Right. There's a dark
pain.
past. There is a dark past. No matter how much hope we have, there has been a dark past. Then you go down a little further, it says, stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod. Felt in the days when hope unborn had died. So back up to our scripture, hope deferred makes the heart sick. Yet with a steady beat, have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed. In order to sigh, that's pain. That's some experience, right?
It
We have
is.
come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered.
Mm,
Out from the gloomy past till now we stand at last. But God of our weary years, again, there have been some weary years, God of our silent tears.
yes.
God is continuously with us through all the pain. But do we really know how to process that pain? Do we really understand that the pain that drips from every single word of this anthem was carried in the minds and the bodies and the soul
Hmm.
of people who went before us?
And that was so eye-opening today.
Yes,
Very
yes.
eye-opening.
And this pain would further be carried from generation to generation to generation. And
Yeah.
sometimes we don't even know. We don't even know why we have certain pain responses. But from way back when, our pain is carried from generation to generation. So
Mm.
I want to kind of go over some definitions. You know, I come with definitions in my stats, right? So I'm going to
Yes.
do
Bring
that.
the information.
The
Let's bring
research,
the
you gotta
information.
research. So, Medline defines pain as a signal in your nervous system that there's
Mhm.
something wrong. Okay, so pain, although it hurts, it is also a good thing. It signals us that there's something wrong. So the Britannica says a complex pain is a complex experience consisting of a psychological and physiological and psychological response to a noxious stimuli, and that just basically means noxious means harmful, poisonous, unpleasant. Okay, and that's what pain is. So
Mhm.
the CDC. According to the CDC, 51.6 million US adults experience chronic pain. Okay,
Hmm.
not just pain, chronic pain. I would venture to say every single person on this earth experiences some pain, but 51.6 million adults experience chronic pain.
Mm.
And chronic pain, and a lot of us may not even realize this, that you know, we have pain for years and we wouldn't really consider it chronic pain. It's just that little thing that just is annoying, right? But
Mhm.
chronic pain is actually is described as anything that lasts for greater than 3 months.
Wow.
Okay. And this pain can impact our daily work and our life.
And to think too, when we think about pain, being in pain for 3 months,
Hmm.
consecutively, just day after day, day in and day out for three
Hmm.
months, no matter how small or how great the pain is.
Right.
If you have a high pain threshold, if you have a low pain threshold, but just to think you're in pain constantly,
Hmm.
continuously, consecutively
Yeah,
for 3 months. And that's chronic pain. I know something should signal in our minds that hey, we need to check on something. If we're
mhm,
in pain, for more than a day, or if
right.
it's coming every other day,
Mhm.
that says something, because it just speaks to how long we allow things to build up
That's right. It becomes
in our
normal.
lives. Yeah.
Right, right. But what do? We go for the first thing, which is go for that Advil, that Tylenol, that whatever, all the things, your anti-inflammatories. So we grab that instead of focusing on what's causing the pain, the root
Yeah.
cause of the pain. We just are managing the symptoms because basically we want to live and we want to work and we want to play. And the pain is just a little inconvenience thing. And sometimes it's not so little, but that pain is an inconvenience. But as long as I can get a temporary fix, oh, I can continue to work and I can continue to play. But you're not addressing the pain, the root cause of the pain. Okay. And that's what's devastating to us. And we continue to pass this on. We continue to not live the life that we were meant to live because we have this pain, or we're pressing, and but we're carrying about a 300, 500 pound bag of pain on our shoulders while we're showing up in all the spaces to do all the things that God has called us to do, but we're not really enjoying it to the fullest. Because why? We've got to carry this bag of pain with us. We've got to adjust something in order to accommodate this pain.
And
We
we
live
shift
with it.
away.
We shift away. And so instead of us taking our cares and putting it on Jesus, instead of us finding out
Mm,
what the root cause of this pain is, see, when my body starts hurting, I start asking questions. What's happening there? And a lot of times, sometimes the doctors may not even be able to even pinpoint your pain, because here's the thing, and I was going to get into this later, but this thing called referred pain. You think you take a heart attack, a person who has a cardiac arrest.
okay.
So a person who has a cardiac arrest, okay, we know that, okay, there's damage to the heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, you may feel it in your arm. And for women, we may feel it in our jaw. So if
Mm,
you are walking around and you have jaw pain, and especially as a woman, you are jaw pain, and let's just say you're stressed, got stuff on the job, and you start having jaw pain, you might say, I'm gonna go to the dentist. I'll go check it out, but I can't go this week. I'll go next week because I got this and that and the other to do. When the whole time you could be about to have a cardiac arrest.
wow. Wow. That says a lot.
And
We need to be more mindful of pain. It's almost an endeavor that to say that pain is not just, but pain is a symptom of something underlying that could
mhm.
be damaging or devastating.
Yeah, I could say that not so much even a symptom. Pain is a
Messenger. I like that better. Yeah.
messenger that there's something going on in the body. Okay.
Mm,
Because sometimes people may not think about it as a symptom, but your body, when you're in pain at night, when you get off your feet and your feet are hurting, it's not just because, well, unless you just had on some shoes that were too tight.
some cute
There
ones.
could be some there could be some issues, some circulation issues. The pain is a messenger, right?
Mhm.
Our body processes pain, and it identifies the pain. And like I said, but it could be referred pain. So although you're having a pain on with a particular organ, it may show up on the other side of your body, and you're not thinking, oh, that's my heart or that's something else. You're pinpointing it. There was a pain I had in my foot, and it was totally opposite of what I was even imagining it being. So I'm addressing it like the central point, which is the foot. So I'm putting ice on it, I'm lifting, I'm doing all kind of things. And it was something more so that I needed to take care of, where I needed to have, because sometimes you can even get a bacteria buildup under your
Mhm.
skin. And I was like, well, that's really interesting. But as soon as I addressed it, doctors couldn't pinpoint it. They had no idea. So I went to the next level. I went to my naturopathic doctors, and they started oh, and as soon as I did exactly what they said to do, guess what? The pain was gone. So I didn't just hit it at the point that it was hurting. I got to the root cause of it. And that's
Yes.
the thing. We have to get to the root cause of pain, because the chronic pain is debilitating. Chronic pain is linked to depression. It is linked to Alzheimer's. It is linked to higher rates of suicide. It is linked to substance use and misuse. Okay.
Wow.
But here's the thing with pain. Were you saying something?
No, yeah, I was gonna say because it's interesting because we are in Minority Mental Health Month,
Hmm.
Awareness Month, and to think of the pain that's associated with depression,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
anxiety. It is
Hmm.
debilitating,
It is
and
debilitating.
it's not so much as a visible disability or a visible thing that people can actually see. So, and sometimes it's dismissed. So
Ooh, yes.
yeah, and it's disheartening when people are in that and you see them in so much pain, and it's
Mhm.
because of emotional distress.
Right. Because mental health when you are struggling can cause you physical pain. And but again, if the doctors can't pinpoint it, they're like, "Oh, it's just in your head." Well,
Yes,
actually, you're right. It is.
but it is.
It is. So, okay, let's go. Let's go with that. And so you've got to, really listen to your body, because your body, when I know if I'm overstressed, my whole body begins to react. And that is something, and I'll read you something. A lot of stuff I was going to leave to later, but the Holy Spirit is so
Mhm.
amazing. So there is a thing out there called fibromyalgia, and I get it. A lot of people say they just use the term fibromyalgia to just slap on pain that they don't understand. Okay, that's fine. I accept that, but guess what? Pain is pain. I don't really care what you call it. It hurts, it's pain. So there's a book that I have called A More Excellent Way. You may not be able to see it because of the screen, but it's called A More Excellent Way by Dr. Henry Wright. And I'm just going to read a little bit about what it says about fibromyalgia. And it says, in fibromyalgia, the nerve impulse is initiated without conscious thought. There is no intended corresponding muscular reaction required. It is triggered by the spirit of fear.
Wow.
The spirit of fear. Even if you know it is there, you can try to ignore it. It is there, and it initiates nerve pulses. So let me back up. Um, the reason I'm reading this book, we had Gloria Curitan on before. She's the one that actually gave me this book, and there is natural pain. There's a natural causes, root causes of pain, but there's also a spiritual nature of chronic illnesses and diseases. And so, us being in the spirit, we can't ignore one or the other. And so, when we are having difficulties identifying why we have certain chronic illnesses, we got to dive deeper. So, the thing with fibromyalgia was one of the root causes is a spirit of fear. It also says the spiritual root can be found in females who don't feel covered, protected, nurtured, don't feel safe, are always are wait a minute, don't feel safe, are always looking over their shoulders, are driven, anxious, moving the pieces of their life around, and are insecure. So definitely there are some aspects to that, some characteristics that I can identify with. And when you think about it, because see, I'm looking for all the natural causes of fibromyalgia, right? But I also have to look at the spiritual. I also have to look at things like unforgiveness. And if you have unforgiveness, I was just talking to someone today, and she's a part of a group, a chronic illness group, and one common thing that each woman had, unbeknownst to each one, was unforgiveness.
Wow.
Years ago, before I had the surgery, I was in my 30s. I went to, because you said go to the elders of the church to get prayed for. And I'm like, oh, yep, I'm all for it. I'm going to go I'm about to have surgery. I need my pastor to pray for me. I'm on it. So when I got there, I'm ready. I'm standing in line. My pastor's going to pray for me. I'm going to have a great surgery. So before he even put his hands on me, guess what he said?
Mm.
He said,
Can only imagine.
he said, you need to forgive. I said, what? I need to
Oh,
forgive. No. That's not. I'm not in that line. I'm in the line to be prayed for because I'm about to have surgery on Monday, and they say come to the have the elders lay hands and all that. I'm good. Yeah, we'll think about forgiveness later. I'm on leave for a couple weeks, so I'll do that later. No. He said no.
you
You need
need to
to,
forget.
before you go under surgery. You need to forgive. So at that time, I was young. I was still young, babe in Christ. So I want my money back. I didn't come here for that. He didn't pray for me. He did not pray for
That's
me the way
right.
I want my money back. Okay.
That's not what
There
I
was no
wanted to
money
hear.
involved. There was no money involved, but I wanted a refund because my prayer request was not honored. But in actuality, it was. And that's how he prayed for me. He prayed for me in the area of unforgiveness. Now, that was years ago. That was in my 30s. So now I'm 56, right? And recently I'm feeling some dis-ease in my body. And I'm like, where is this where is this coming from? Guess what?
Yeah.
I'm going through this book, and we're going to have a book a small group book club with the Body Revelation. So as I'm going through the book, it's revealing to me that I have some unforgiveness.
Yes.
And the way that I was processing it, I'm processing pain, but I'm not processing it healthy. I'm holding on to unforgiveness, so it's beginning to manifest in the way
Mm-hmm.
I speak, in the way I respond, all these things, and now it's manifesting in my body. So
Yeah.
now I'm like, God, I thought I got rid of that. Well, guess what? You met some more people. You got some new friends. So guess what? There's more room for unforgiveness. So you've got to forgive. And I guarantee you, when I started processing the thought of forgiveness, now mind you, I've not taken one pain pill. I've not done anything else pharmaceutical. I started processing the pain, the I started processing the unforgiveness. I started praying.
Mhm.
I started focusing in on God, and guess what? The pain was relieved. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that's all you have to do, because if God tells you take medicine, you take medicine, you do all the things.
That's
But
right.
sometimes we ignore
The
the spiritual
spiritual.
side. Okay. That was just natural, but again, when I read that with fibromyalgia, that as a single woman who raised a family on her own, see, that role was never meant for me as the female to do. So I had to take on masculine roles. So I
Mm,
felt uncovered. I felt unprotected. I have become, and then that striving, of course, I'm striving. I got to get this done and that. So fibromyalgia could be the link, could be the manifestation of all of those things.
and you've revealed a lot in regards to that your personal side, but it's eye opening for those who may be facing similar um, or the same situation.
Hmm.
They may be in pain and don't know why. And it's like you
Hmm.
said, when we're in pain, we don't think to go first to the spiritual.
Mm-mm.
Um, why not? It's beyond me. We
Yeah,
have not been conditioned to do that.
no,
Um, and
I
go
think
ahead.
we're conditioned to ask for prayer. I think we're
Mm-hmm.
conditioned to say, "Lord, heal me."
Mm-hmm.
I think we're even conditioned to fast about it. But one of the things I don't think we're conditioned to do is to slow down and wait for the answer.
Now that is very true because
Okay.
those quick prayers of Lord touch my body, Lord help me get off this bed. I'm guilty of those myself.
Yeah.
Um, and it's like you said, we say them with
Hmm.
an expectation that it's going to be done right away,
Right.
and we don't take time, like you say, to listen
Hmm.
for God to come back and say, well, you're dealing with unforgiveness, you're
Hmm.
dealing with bitterness, you're
Right.
dealing with hurt,
Hmm.
disappointment,
Right.
anger.
Exactly.
These are real things that we internalize.
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
think for us, when we internalize them, as you said, they're becoming a part of our everyday life and we're carrying them in our bodies daily,
Daily.
not even stopping to think about it. We
Hmm.
just wake up and pick them up and keep on going.
Right.
And
Exactly.
3 years later, 3 months later, 5 months later, 6 months later, 5 years later,
Hmm.
our body is riddled with pain
Right. Right.
from, and it's damage. And it's now
Right.
this pain has caused damage because it's
That's right.
either have stolen joy, it's caused us to either go extremely hard for
Hmm.
things that we want where we don't take time to break or to rest,
Hmm.
or it has caused us to stop doing and having any zeal towards the things that we did want at one point in time.
Exactly. Exactly. And, God will also tell you that, like, with fibromyalgia, one of the things is you have to be, one level of it, you do have to be careful with how much you exercise. Your cortisol levels can't go but so high. You
Mhm.
may want to do 30 minutes or an hour on the treadmill, but guess what? You may end up in bed rest for 2 weeks after
Mhm.
that. So you may want to go hard. So, listening to God and the wisdom, and whether you got personal trainers or whether you have nutritionists, all those things, you listen to the natural wisdom, because God can speak through his gifted people to get the answers to us. So if a certain movement, exercise, activity, or whatever is not working for your body, stop. If God says you need to sleep more, your pain is coming from the fact that you're only getting 4 hours of sleep, then you need to sleep. So he'll give you the spiritual meaning and root cause of it, but he'll also show you very naturally that next time you try to pick up that heavy thing, that's what's going to happen. You break your leg. Well, there's a lot of natural things. Don't do that again. You 56 years old, skating might not be your thing, so don't do that no more. So they're all kind of natural instructions that we're going to get. What we're eating, sugar.
Mhm.
Oh, goodness and gracious, let's get into sugar. That, you can alleviate your pain. Stop eating sugar. I love sugar. I love sweets. But I know if I eat them,
Yeah.
I'm going to have pain. So it's no sense in me going to anybody and saying, please pray for me, pray for my healing. Because guess what? I did that. I bought the sugar. So we got to be accountable. We've got to know that, see, pain really impacts everybody. No matter what your sex, your age, your race, your ethnicity, your marital status,
Mhm.
veterans, whether you live in a urban part, suburban, your family income, everybody is impacted by pain, but if you think about the pain score, when you go to the hospital or you go to your doctors, what do they use to ask you, well, what's your pain like? Little faces, little smiley faces,
Yep.
not real technical. Okay.
On a level of 1 to 10, rate your pain.
Rate your pain. If your face looks like this, oh, you in a lot of pain.
That's right.
Doctor has done nothing, has taken no tests. But oh, you say you a 10, but see, my 10 could be different than someone else's 10. My 10 may be your 1, and vice versa. It all is subjective. Pain is very subjective. We basically measure pain based on our experiences,
Mhm.
based on our current and past circumstances, based on what we've lived through, our understanding of pain, based on even who we have to talk to, our support system. So our pain, our tolerance of pain can
Mhm.
be very, very, very different. And there are two aspects of it. You have pain that's localized, that's significant to a body part, so you feel it in your body parts. But then there's pain that's unpleasant, there's an unpleasant quality. It varies in severity, but it's also based on associated behavior. So that goes to show you that pain is just not a physical thing, it's also a physiological thing as well. Pain is physical as well. Pain is manifested physically.
Yes, and I've read too. As I was reading about pain, I read that it's emotional,
Hmm.
um, and whether our state of emotion can cause us to be in pain, or it could cause us not to be in pain.
Hmm.
And it goes back to how we managing our day-to-day life, how we
Yeah.
managing our stress levels,
Hmm.
triggers. I was reading about triggers. Unrecognized triggers can
Hmm.
increase your pain level or
Hmm.
sink you into a pain crisis.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that there are so many outside as well as
Hmm.
internal
Yeah.
factors affecting our pain and
Yeah.
how we perceive pain.
Hmm. Absolutely. And there you go. How pain is perceived, not only by you, but how pain is perceived by others.
Mhm.
There was a study, and I have it written down in my notes. There was a book, actually a book for nurses, that was made, and I'm not going to quote the publisher because I don't want to say it wrong, but basically they had kind of stereotyped different people and how they manage their pain. So, like for African Americans, they would say, yeah, African Americans, this is how they deal with pain. This is how Native Americans deal with pain. And this is how, and so it's teaching nurses that when you have this group of people, this is how they're going to deal with pain. Some are going to ignore it. Some are going to apologize for it. Some are going to really want all the support, all the whole 9 yards. And so you're teaching a group of people that are going to take care of you that this is what this group of people are going to experience. Now, is there some truth in what has been observed? Absolutely. But you don't generalize because pain is different for every single person. So don't teach a group of people trained to take care of me that as an African American woman, this is how I'm going to process my pain. This is how I'm going to, come to you. I need you to see me. I need you to hear me. I need you to understand that we need to investigate what this pain is.
That's right. It's not cookie cutter.
It's not good.
It's not cookie cutter, and I know what you're talking about because it's been said. I have had a doctor tell my father that African American people have a higher pain tolerance.
Mm-hmm.
And because my dad was a dialysis patient who suffered a stroke, and he had pain,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, "Yeah, you don't need as much, pain meds because you have a higher tolerance."
Mm-hmm.
Well, who told you that?
Right.
When in fact, my dad couldn't tolerate any pain.
Right.
His pain tolerance was very low.
Exactly.
But
So he's suffering.
notion, yeah,
Yeah.
that because he was African American male, he could tolerate pain at a greater
Yeah.
level
Yeah.
than a counterpart.
Yeah, he didn't need it.
So,
He didn't need as much
yeah,
medication. Yeah, that's exactly
yeah,
what that study was outlining. The disparities, even in pain, giving pain pills that doctors are not prescribing them at the same rate to African American communities. Because number one, we can tolerate pain, and then number two, we don't want to make them addicted. They're have a tendency to be drug abusers. So
mhm.
that in itself, you're ignoring this person's pain, which is also going to cause more emotional pain, extended pain for that person.
And the psychological pain is far more damaging
Oh yeah.
than the physical pain because you can have a broken leg or you can have surgery,
Mm-hmm.
um, and are not able to care for yourself as you were able to once before. And the psychological aspect of that
Mm-hmm.
is far can last longer, and it can be far outweighed. It
Mm-hmm.
can far outweigh the physical pain that you feel. And
Absolutely.
I think we need to consider that when we feel these pains and we have these pains in our body, um, what is it doing to us?
Mm-hmm.
How is it affecting my mental health?
Yeah.
You're the health person. I'm not the mental health person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very big on how things affect us mentally because
Yeah.
our mental health is at the basis of our daily lives.
Mm-hmm.
And we need our physical health, but we don't realize how greatly our a great of influence
Mm-hmm.
our mental health has on our physical being, what
Yeah.
we're able to do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And then when we add pain on top of the day-to-day stresses of the world,
Mm-hmm.
going to work, problems at work, what you have to do at home, education, what you do in your community,
Mm-hmm.
all of these different aspects. And we're adding that on top of
Yeah.
us being in pain,
Mm-hmm.
we're weighing ourselves down. And
We
we're
are.
carrying these undue baggages when we need to actually focus on the root cause. And I think medicine has become so greatly involved in treating symptoms
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
versus treating the root cause.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when we have pain, we need to stop and think along the lines not only just physical but emotional and spiritual as well.
Exactly. Because again, we got to think about each individual person has
Mhm.
their own experience in life. They have their own personality. They have their own attitudes, and they have their own circumstances that all play into it. If you think about the when in early in our childhood, we learned about the lion that had the thorn in his foot. The
Mhm.
lion was just mean and grumpy and just, unbearable and scary, while this thorn was in his foot. And it wasn't until the thorn was taken out that he became calmer. So just think about that energy that the lion had, that negative energy that it had walking through life. And so everyone saw this lion as ferocious and, angry and just ready to tear your head off. Well, how many people nowadays are walking around like that?
Mm.
They're walking around, if you look at them sideways, if you stand next to them by the store and you look a certain way, they're ready to go off. They're ready, and you have to think about your own responses when something happens. Why did you respond that way? Okay.
It's true.
Why did you get angry with the representative who just asked you a question about, thus and thus? Yeah, and that's such a relevant thing because I got a little upset today with a representative and realized that I called the wrong number. Wrong number. And so I'm wondering why this person's not responding to me. And I'm like, what's wrong with this person? And they ended up hanging up on me. So I'm like, they so processing my pain, right? I had to go back and look. Oh, uh, you dialed the wrong number. They didn't know what you were talking about. So I had to check myself, but I'm in the process of learning how to do that more and more and more. But we are so quick to respond. We're so quick to say, to have our responses, but those responses come out of our pain. Those
Yeah.
responses come out of things that we've experienced. And so that's something we've got to check all of the time.
That's
So, yeah.
and that's so true because it's you never know. You can't just look at a person all the time and tell what they're dealing with. You don't
Right.
know if they're suffering a major pain in their body, they have a massive headache,
Mm,
they're going through something that's causing them emotional pain or mental pain. We
mm,
don't know.
right.
And it's in this day and time, post pandemic, if that's what we want to call it, or in
Mhm,
pandemic, it can be
mhm,
either or. We have to be mindful that there's so much that people are dealing with.
mhm.
And the added stress of COVID, that's
Right.
a pain in itself.
Yeah.
It's, do we wear masks? Should we not wear masks? Some people
Mhm,
are still wearing masks.
mhm,
All of these things add to,
mhm.
they can be pain points
And
and
even
add
the
to that level.
yeah, even the fatigue that
Mhm.
people are experiencing from COVID, people who have had COVID may have long COVID. They're
COVID.
wondering, why am I so tired? Why am I fatigued? Well, there's now this thing called long COVID. There are a lot of things that are being impacted. Our bodies are being impacted. So when you think about our history, even from a child, one of the things that
Mhm.
we use, and I know, of course, you're familiar with it in mental health, is ACE. I wanted to pull up a few questions. We're not going to go over all of them because and as people they can look it up themselves, and because a lot of times you may want to take this in the privacy of your own space, your own quiet time, because the questions are definitely if you haven't addressed some issues, they can be jarring because it's going to
Mhm.
cause you to think about some things that you may not have thought about before or in a
Mhm.
thought about in a long time. But it's so important that you do. It's so important that you get professional help as well. Be responsible if you're getting ready to uncover things in your past that have been painful. Get professional help. There's EAP, which is free. So, don't feel that you have to do these things alone. But I wanted to share, and I'm gonna see if I can present my screen and yeah, show it. So it's called the ACE
Mhm.
Resilience Questions. Can you see?
It's loading. There we go.
Okay. All right. So again, I would recommend a person can go online and this one I got off the UNC website, but you can go just type in ACE. And these are just some things if you want to know your ACE score. And basically, what the ACE score is going to show you your risk factor for chronic illness. Okay. So if you have pain points throughout your life, if you have experienced physical or emotional pain, then you're going to have an ACE score. Okay, you can have a zero score or on up. So these are just some questions or some things that they ask. So number one, did a parent or an adult in a household often or very often swear at you, insult you, put you down, or humiliate, or act in a way that made you afraid that you might be physically hurt? If no, you do nothing. If yes, you enter a one. Did a parent or another adult in the household often or very often push, grab, slap, or throw something at you, or even hit you so hard that you had marks or were injured? Again, put one if yes. Then we'll go down. Number four, did you often or very often feel that no one in your family loved you or thought you were important or special, or your family didn't look out for each other, feel close to each other, or support one another? Okay, so it goes on and just continues to ask, were your parents ever separated or divorced? um, 8, did you live with anyone who was a problem drinker or alcoholic or used street drugs? So these ACE scores, you're going to go down and you're going to add them up for all of your yes answers. This is going to be your ACE score. And so basically, it's just giving you an indicator of, first of all, is recognizing, okay, that
Mhm.
through your life, there were some painful points. There were some painful events. There were some things both physically and emotionally that could have, because there's a book called The Body Keeps the Score. When something happens to the body remembers. And so unless you process it, just like that lion who had that negative energy is on the inside of us. And we need to exchange that negative energy for the positive energy of Christ, allow Him to heal us from those things. But we can't heal from them if we're not willing to process it, if we're not willing to metabolize it. And metabolizing is just like with food, basically means when you eat something and that food changes, it goes from food and it changes to energy so that the body can use it, so the body can get the fuel that it needs. Same thing with pain. You've got to metabolize it, you've got to recognize it, change that negative pain into a positive experience, get free from it so that you can continue. And so your ACE score, it is a factor. It doesn't mean that you're doomed for the rest of your life. It just means that these are some factors that we need to consider in determining whether or not there's going to be a chronic illness. Okay. Once you do that, then it goes over your resilience score, and basically says, I believe that my mother loved me when I was little, and you just answer, I believe that my father loved me when I was little. Other people helped my mother and father take care of me. So it just goes on and on to show, just kind of the thing that you're able to do to kind of do some self assessment. But again, I would recommend, again, in doing self assessment, you may have triggers, things that you may not have even remembered. So just be mindful and be wise to get help. And if you ever have any issues, you can call 988. If you ever have any mental health issues and you need some help immediately, 988 is the number to call. This is a process, metabolizing pain, processing pain is a process. It didn't, built up pain, whether it's physical or otherwise emotional, didn't just happen yesterday, unless there was a trauma pain is right then, but even in that you're going to have some residual pain for some years to come. So it's a process of being able to understand it, identify it, not be ashamed about it, and get some help for it.
And that the the only way that we're going to be able to process it is if we get some help, and we don't have to do it alone.
Right.
Um, so which is a very good thing, that there is different means we can join support groups, we
Mm-hmm.
can go to therapy, we can get counseling, um, we can even, as far as the physical pain,
Mm-hmm.
there's alternatives for that as well to help manage your pain level. I
Right.
know you have the Body Revelation Wellness Small Group that's coming up
Yes.
to help process pain.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that I'm excited about, and I'm excited about it because it starts in August. And
August 10th.
it's, tell them again, August when?
August 10th, and we are playing around with some other dates. When I tell you it's a small group, you guys, it's a small group. And I mean about 7 people, 7 to 8 people max, because of the fact that people have different pain experiences. We don't want the group to be large. We want people to feel very comfortable talking. So the group is going to be small. Now, we may have multiple groups going on. So to accommodate if there is an overflow, we may even, the first one's going to be in person. We may play around with having it virtual, but it's just something about being in person. But also to be able to reach more people, I will consider, and if there is interest, we will open it up to having a virtual experience as well. But it is a 13-week, yes, invest some time. It is a 13-week small group session surrounded around the Body Revelation, which was written by Elisa Keaton. She is with the Revelation Wellness. I am a Revelation Wellness instructor and facilitator since 2017. And so she wrote her second book she wrote, and it's called The Body Revelation. And it is basically to teach us how to metabolize our pain, to banish shame, okay? Banish the shame. There is no shame. And then to connect with God, to further connect with God. So this book is actually not just a read. Okay. This book is a book that we will read, we will discuss, we will pray, we will even physically move our bodies. It is not going to be a hit workout. It is not going to be, it is going to be gentle movements, because a lot of times when you're dealing with pain, you just need a gentle way of moving. And that helps to metabolize your pain, both physically as well as emotionally and spiritually. And so, definitely, if you are interested in the Body Revelation small group, go ahead and sign up now. The live group is going to be in Indian Trail. The details are on my website, which is www.capacitywellmhd.com. You would go to the events section and go ahead and sign up. Give me your name, and I will reach out to you. And also let me know whether or not you are interested in a online, or if that Thursday, because it's going to be on Thursday night, the first one. And if Thursday is not a good date, give me some input, because we are formulating more group sessions since they are small. Okay. We are definitely not going over like 10 people. That's maximum. Okay, so it's going to be around a while. But as I said, as I have read the book, I've already read the book, been through the book, and going back over it. But now I'm doing the exercises. And so the exercises are going to be really important in this book. So we're going to do that, move our bodies, and then just develop a community of people that can help us process our pain.
Yes. I am so excited about it because we need support.
Yes.
And you are giving support to process pain. People walk around daily in pain
Mm,
because we have this elusive belief
yeah.
that we must do everything on our own or by
Mhm.
ourselves.
Yeah.
And you are starting a group that is going to help metabolize the pain. And
Mhm.
when you said you were banishing shame, because
Mhm.
people, I think a lot of us don't realize how much shame
Mm.
contributes to the pain,
Yeah.
and being stuck. just contributes to the pain. And then connecting with God is going to be the key.
Mm-hmm.
Moving, dealing with the unforgiveness in the book, because I'm still reading the book
Mm-hmm.
um, as well. And it's very good. I mean, if you haven't gotten that book, I don't know if they can get it on your website or not, but let them know how they can get that book if they
Yeah.
can. It's very good to help with processing your pain. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's things that, in reading the book, I realized that there were things that I was carrying that I had suppressed so long to, I didn't even realize it was I was internalizing it.
Right.
So it's a great
Right.
book. I think it's going to be an awesome group, coaching group, because one, you're ready and you are excited about it. So
I well, I have it's answered a lot of questions. I mean, I have a relationship with Christ. I've been in church for 30 years, but there were some things that I wasn't hearing from God, and this book has allowed me. God has used the words of these books to resonate with me in a way to show me that there's some areas that He wants cleaned up, because I've got to go to the next level. I've got to go and do the things that
Mhm.
He requires of me. I delight to do that. But, part of me wants to rush. And this book also is showing me, that's why I emphasize 13 weeks,
Mhm.
because this is not a get quick anything. Okay.
That's right.
We're not about that. We're not about, oh, I'm going to guarantee this and that. No, 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 no. I don't know what your results are going to be, other than we are going to metabolize pain, whatever that means for you. We are going to banish shame, whatever that shame is for you, and allow a space for you to connect with God. Not that you are not connecting with God at your own level, in your own home, in your personal relationship, or even with your church, but this is a different level. This is just a different thing, because it's so uniquely about you. Okay. And that's important, because we have to have that intimate relationship with Christ,
Yeah.
order, because He knows us. He knows us. There's people pleasers, and there's people who seek after this and seek after that. This is, as I said, as I read through the book the first time, I got excited because I hadn't realized that I had reverted back into some uh, actions, some thoughts, um, that I just didn't realize that was having a issue on me. And because we go about our day and we're doing this and we're working this ministry and working that ministry, building the business and all that, but something snuck in,
Mhm.
and is there. So yeah, I'm excited about it. Revelation Wellness has been a very, very important part of my life for, like I said, since 2017. We use fitness and wellness to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. So if you want to have a sweaty Bible study, if you want to get with other men and women who are just excited about Christ and sharing Christ, in a way that's just physical, because when you move your body, something happens. When you move your body, something happens. I mean, not just physically, but your brain releases all the things, all the chemicals that provide happiness, that provide joy. When we're stagnant, we're sit all day and then we pile on top of that stress, we are literally killing ourselves. But
Yeah.
when you move, so this is taking us, and we do it in a way where there's no shame. It is, everyone's welcome. Every shape and size is welcome. That's not a criteria. If you are not able to move a toe, we gonna move that one little piece of toe you have. Okay, whatever it is. If you can only blink your eyes, join in, because this is not about a level of fitness. This
Mhm.
so much supports my heart desire, which is to help people build their capacity for wellness. So whatever that means to you, it could be lifting. You may have arthritis and can't even hold a pen, correctly. Well, let's work your fingers. Let's find a way to work your fingers. My background is exercise science, nutrition, and wellness. That's what my master's degree in. So I'm studying how the body functions, how nutrition comes into play with it. So that's what I want to help people with. That's what I want to introduce. So yes, we're introducing the body revelation. Come on, come on. Oh, you did ask where can we get it? You can go to any place that sells books. The book is out everywhere. So wherever you buy your books, even online, you can get the book. It's The Body Revelation by Elisa Keaton. You can go on the website, www.revelationwellness.org, and purchase it from there as well. Definitely go to Revelation Wellness and download the app to stay engaged. We are a very engaged community of just believers and people who love Christ and are not ashamed to just be who we are.
That's right. And I'm gonna tell you, it's a awesome event. So if you have never been to a Revelation Wellness workout event, find one. It's awesome.
Yeah.
We
Coming
are hoping to get
soon.
it's coming to Charlotte
Coming
soon
to you
with our very
soon.
own
Yes.
Phyllis
I
Woods
will.
will be facilitating that. And
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
excited about that. Right now, we're looking at it in September, so we
Mhm.
are excited.
Yeah.
And final details will be coming out soon. So
Mm.
make sure you're in attendance. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, it is mind blowing. It's life
And
changing. It's
it's
very welcoming.
mhm.
The connection with God, the connection with the people there was just awesome. So
Yeah.
it allows you to move your
Yeah.
body and just work it out and free yourself
Yeah.
um, from everything that's weighing you down.
Yeah.
It's an awesome experience. So I'm
Yeah.
excited about the Revelation
Yeah.
Wellness coaching that
Mm.
you coaching small group coaching that you have
Mhm.
coming out. I'm
Yep.
excited about the book.
Yeah.
As I'm reading through the book, it's
Mhm.
just amazing how movement has
Mhm.
done so much and impacted her life, and
Mhm.
she's sharing her story, and
Yeah.
it's very liberating. It's very helpful to
Yeah.
those who are dealing with pain.
Mhm.
And as we said, pain touches everyone. And this book does exactly those three things.
Mhm.
It's helping you to release that pain, it's helping you to banish that shame and to connect with
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, and
So
it
I'm
it
excited.
it just connects us in a different way, or in a more, and I won't say different, but it meets you where you need to be met. That's my experience. It met me where I
Yep.
needed to be met. I was very kind of closed off in a sense, and
Mhm.
this allowed me to celebrate not just myself, but celebrate other people, celebrate how other people worship, Christ. To be able to experience that has been wonderful. We tend to kind of stick to our own little environment and our own, bodies of fellowship, but this just has opened the door. So how capacity wellness embodies this is that, like I said, we have so many tools that we use to get people to we're going to have classes. So not only are we going to do the September event, which is a main event type thing, we're going to do that, but we also will have classes, regular exercise classes. Most of the classes are going to be low to moderate impact because, again, my population of people, my experience is going to be people who have chronic illnesses, unlimited mobility, and but
Mhm.
they still need to move. If you have pain, if you have any form, and no matter what they call it, movement is going to be such a critical key, but you got to be careful and how you move. You need to be strategic and how you move. You need to be creative. And also, you need to be okay with it because that's the one big thing I had to get over. I wanted to move like the big dogs because it was like, yeah, when we went to the last Rev on the Road,
Yes.
I
Oh,
ended
and they were moving.
oh, we
But
were moving and I moved myself for 2 hours. That's
yes,
because I went over my limit and I have to remember where my limit is. So I have to have peace with my limit. And so I got to be okay with that and just keep moving.
and what I did really love about the last event is the modifications.
Yes.
They, when she says that it meets you where you are,
Hmm.
it truly meets you where you are because It says
She's
I'm on crutches, but but I
she's
am moving.
yes, yes.
And that's a good thing. Keep moving.
Yes.
And yeah, but it does meet you where you are because they had people there demonstrating the modified versions right
Mhm,
along with her in full
mhm.
fledged
Yeah,
mode of go mode. But they had people there demonstrating how to do these same
yeah,
exercises using a chair,
yeah,
or using whatever you needed to use.
yeah,
Um, to be able to move your body. So
yeah.
it's for everyone.
It
Um,
is.
if you are interested, please
Yeah.
visit Phyllis's website.
Mhm,
I'll put this information up again. Visit her website and join the group. Let her know you're interested. It's
mhm.
scrolling across the bottom. That's her contact information, her phone number, her website. Go to the event section and sign up for the
Woo.
Revelation Wellness Coaching Small Group. I
Yes,
hope to see you
and I
there.
promise you it's affordable. If you have any issues, just call me, let me know. We're it's for everyone. So I don't want cost to be a factor. I do want you to show up. I do want you to communicate with me. Revelation Wellness, Capacity Wellness, we're all about making sure it is accessible. Just trust the process, trust God in the process.
Yeah.
If you are ever interested in becoming a Revelation Wellness instructor, we the next platoon is about to start. So definitely go on their website and download a packet for that. It's an experience that is to me has been like no other. And so that is starting up as well. So many things. There's hikes. There's no matter what level of fitness you are, there is something for you. Whether it's high impact, whether it's hiking, we there's so many things that you can do to become physically active. But even if you're just not able to move right now, there's so much Word of God that is uh, offered.
Yeah.
Just for your soul is so many uplifting things. We it's Christ, and more Christ. Period.
Okay. And so I am so grateful for this conversation because you've shared so much tonight. We've heard so much tonight in regards to how to process pain and what causes our pain and how long we've been carrying pain. So if you are someone who's carrying pain, who's dealing with pain, who's processing pain, reach out. Let us know how we can be of a support to you to help you process through this pain. Phyllis has given us some great tools, the small group coaching, the Revelation Wellness book. Um, there's so many things that we can help you with. Just give us a call, reach out to us. You can visit Phyllis's website. You can visit our website at Sisters Healing Evolving Sisters Healing and Evolving.org. You can visit our website as well and let us know. Drop a line, and we can. If you can't remember, give us a call. We can get you
Yeah.
in touch with Phyllis. She is an awesome resource, and I'm telling you, she
Thank you,
will
Jesus.
listen to you wholeheartedly, genuinely, and she will be happy to help you process your pain. So
Amen.
I remember our goal is to bring you resources, to centralize those resources that help you change your life, not only for you, but for the next generation and the generations to come. So I thank everyone for tuning in tonight, those who are watching live, those who will watch the replay. We thank you. If this platform is been a help to you and you would like to contribute to help us further advance the message of minority health and bring resources and tools and strategies to you that is not only life changing for you, but for generations to come, feel free to get involved. We are always looking for volunteers. Right now, we have a lot of positions open. We're looking to build us a finance team. If finance is something that you are interested in and you have a passion for and you want to see the mission of minority health move forward, give us a call, reach out to us, drop us a line on our website or our email, send me a DM. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on social media. We have IG page. We also have Facebook. Whatever your social media is, reach out. We would love to hear from you and love to work with you to move this mission forward. I thank you, Phyllis. Remember, Phyllis is the health guru and she is willing to help you process that pain. So if you don't take anything else away tonight, take away that you have support and reach out to Phyllis at Capacity Wellness.
Amen. And your journey is never shattered. So
It's never shattered.
pain is not going to shatter your journey.
And you heard her. She said pain will not shatter your journey.
That's
And
right.
that is so true. Thank you everyone for watching and be blessed and have a wonderful evening.
Take care.